Andal, Karnai Kavanda Kalar, Siddhagi Apanaya, Nada Kana, Inmayile, Pichedam Golal, Tirnar and Antal, Alam Peret Chindit Tuimino. In this pasuram, in Thiruppavai 4.1.1, the 4.1.1, the fourth centum, 10th, first decade, first pasuram. Swami Nammayar tells us about what wealth is like. Virnayagamai. One king, he tells us a story of a king. Virnayagamai, Ulagunanandavar. He ran the entire world. Everybody ran from him. Everybody was scared of him because of how powerful he was. Voda Ulagunanandavar. He ran the entire world. But what happened to him afterwards? Minnin Nilayila Mannuirakigal. Ennumidathire Unnumin Nire. This life, Arva says, is like lightning. It will come and go. Similarly, wealth is also like that. My Acharyan very funnily says, why do we call it Selvam in Tamil? Selvam refers to money, wealth. Why is it called Selvam? Because it's continuously going. It's always continuously going away from us. That is why it's called Selvam. Selvam is what my Acharya very humorously says. In that sense, Selvam is what this king had. He had all the Selvam in this world. It is famously known that when Napoleon was buried, he was buried with his hands outside of the ground. Why? To show that I was not able to take anything from this world. I was not able to, not even a single cent I was able to take beyond this. Karnai Kavanda Kalar Siddhagi Apanaya. So what happened to this king that ran the entirety of the world? The Chora dynasty was such a big dynasty. It ran all the way up to East Asia. The British Empire, the sun never set on it. Where is it now? You see so many such dynasties that come and go. But do they last? This person ran the world. What happened to him? Another king came. He took all of his wealth. This person became a beggar. Now, what is his situation? The dogs on the street are chasing him. They are coming and biting his leg because he's a beggar and he's trying to steal the food from the dogs because he doesn't even have enough food for himself. That is what happened to this person that the entire world ran away from because of how scared they were of him, how powerful he was. Now he is running from the street dogs. They're coming and biting his leg. In fact, even his begging pot, the pot he uses to beg, is not a good pot. At least if you had a nice pot, you can get some good things and you can. Is a saying that is said in Tamil. You look at the pot and then you give accordingly. If the pot is something already has a lot of money, you will not give. So how is this person's pot? Siddhagi Apanaya, this pot is completely broken. It is in pieces. If you put something inside of it as well, it will not hold. That is the state that this person is in. This person that used to run the entire world, that used to be the king of everything. He is now Siddhagi Apanaya, Perinad Kana Imayane Pichaitam Kolvar. So what is happening now? Is this at least maybe all of these become very poor, but he's still well respected in the world? No, that is not the case either. Everybody in the world is watching as he is begging on the streets. They are all seeing his state. So Arwai says, when that is the case, is it useful to spend all of our time in the stock market? Is it useful to spend all of our time going after wealth? Or is it more useful to fall at the feet of the Lord? Fall at the feet of the Lord and understand that if there is any wealth, He is the one that is to give it to us. Why are we continuously chasing after something that is impermanent when there's something permanent? Is Adime. That is always permanent, that is going to be there forever, is it not? And so why don't we chase after that instead, is what our verse says. A beautiful story is given of King Janaka, Sita's father, in which he is teaching, he's doing Gurukula Vasa. Even the kings back in the day, they used to be learned people, not like politicians of today, right? They used to be well studied. So at that time, King Janaka, he went and studied under his Acharya, and alongside there were also other Sishyas, there were other students as well. However, the Acharya was very partial towards King Janaka. He always treated King Janaka with a much more care and respect, and he put more interest into King Janaka's education as opposed to these other students. So the students felt, why is this teacher doing that? once King Janaka becomes the king, once his father dies and then he becomes the king, he will give this Acharyan a lot of wealth. So this Acharyan is thinking that, oh, by giving him good education, I will also become rich. By giving him focus, I will also become rich. He will eventually take care of me, is what they thought, these students thought. The teacher found out that this is what they were speaking about, and what did the teacher did? The Acharya, he had some mantra shakti, he had some jnana, mantra shakti, jnana shakti, so that he was able to make some illusions. And so what did he do? When the class was happening, he showed a mirage of the entirety of all of their houses, their little hut where all they had was a couple of veshtis, a couple of kaupinams, maybe a couple of books. That's all they had. They had nothing more than that. These were poor Brahmin boys. They did not have anything of real worth. They are brahmachari boys, moreover. They did not have any wealth in that sense. So these students, he created a mirage, this teacher, that their entirety of their hut is going up into flames. These students get really scared. They're like, oh no, and they run towards their hut and try to stop the fire. Inside that hut, there is nothing. There's nothing more than a couple of veshtis and maybe a couple of books. There's nothing of use. There's nothing of value in there. Yet they are running and scared. Oh no, all our belongings are going up into flames. He does that one day. The next day, the teacher does the exact same mirage, except now, instead of their huts coming on fire, the entirety of Mithila is going on fire. The entirety of Janaka's Rajyam, the entirety of his kingdom is upon flames. At that time, Janaka did not run towards the flames. He stayed there and he heard what his Acharyan said. When his Acharyan asked, why are you not running? He said, that wealth, it will come and go. This wealth that you are giving me, the jnana of the Lord, it will always stay with me. That is what Janaka did. He did not go after such wealth. He stayed with the true wealth. Nidhine pavara tune, nidimaya ninayavallar kadine, kanjanmala kandum unandam malum madine, malevarti vanangiyan manattu vandu vidine, kandukondu tontaneen vidigilene. Who is the true Nidhi? Who is the true wealth? Shri Nidhim Nidhimaphalamartinam Athitartha Paritana Dikshitam Sarvabhuta Sukradam Dhayanidhim Devaraja Madhirajamashayet. That Devadi Devan, that Lord of the Lords, the God, Shri Krishna, He is our Nidhi, He is our true wealth. If there is any wealth, it is not our Veshtis or any of our stocks or even the whole Rajyam. It is not the kingdom. It is truly the Lord who is sitting inside of each and every single one of our houses. I will tell a further story again in this context in a couple of days. But with this, there's also another beautiful story. When talking about Vairagyam, the concept of not taking wealth too seriously, not taking worldly belongings too seriously, and focusing our full efforts in the Lord, I cannot go without mentioning the beautiful Swami Vedanta Desika. Swami Vedanta Desika, also known as Vedanta Acharya, is known as a Ratna or a gem, quite a jewel in the Guru Parampara Haram. In our Guru Parampara, he is one that cannot be matched. That Vedanta Desika is quite well known for his Vairagyam. Swami Vedanta Desika, he was close friends with who was famously known as Vidyaranya Saraswati. Vidyaranya was the Raja Guru of a kingdom. And so at that time, he was friends with him as they had both studied together. They had both done their Parasala time together. And so at that time, Vidyaranya comes to know that Vedanta Desika, this huge Acharya, he is very poor. For his daily sustenance, he is begging on the streets. He is not able to sustain himself. He is going for Bhiksha Vandanam. He is going up to each and every single house asking for rice and vegetables so that he can cook that at his house. If he does not get any food that day, he does. If they don't, nobody gives him any food that day, he does not have any food that day. And so that is the state that Swami Vedanta Desika is. Is Vedanta Desika unable to earn money? No. One of the best poets in all of the Sanskrit language is Swami Vedanta Desika. You see that in his Sri Stuti, in which one boy, he comes and asks Vedanta Desika, I need to get married, but I don't have any money. The bride side is asking for some money. I don't have any dhana. I do not have any wealth to get myself married. So then he says, if you want any money, let's go to Perindevi. Let's go to Swami Varadaraja, the Lord Varadaraja of Kanchipuram, his consort, Perindevi Taya. Let's go to her and let's ask her for money. And so he composes his entirety of Sri Stuti, a wonderful text in which he glorifies Perindevi Taya. At that time, it is said that gold coins showered from the sky, and they fell at the feet of Swami Vedanta Desika. At that time, Vedanta Desika said, I do not want any of it. You this boy, you take all of it, and he left. He did not take even a single one of these coins, because those coins weren't the true wealth to him. The Lord was the true wealth. And so at that time, so that is the type of person that Vedanta Desika is, understanding that Swami Vedanta Desika, what does he do? He is called by his friend. He sees that his friend is so poor. He says, "You are such a good kavi. Why don't you come and sing for the Raja? The Raja will give you a lot of wealth, and you can survive with that itself, and you can spend more time in your granthas. You can spend more time writing. You don't have to focus on begging each day. You don't have to have all these worries." At that time, Swami Vedanta Desika composes his Vairagya Panchakam, in which he says the same thing as what Swami Nammarvar says in his Prabandham. I quoted it yesterday. Sonnal virodamida agilum solluvan kenmino en navilin kavini yavarkum kudukkilan tenna tenavende vandu mudal thiruvengadathu ennane ennappan embelamanudanagave. If there's anybody that is worthy of singing, Sonnal virodamida agilum solluvan kenmino, you guys won't listen to me. However, en navilin kavi ini yavarkum kudukkilan, I will not give my poetry to anybody else. I will not dedicate it to any other person other than the Lord himself. If anybody is fit, if anybody is fit of such worship, if anybody is fit of such praise, it is him and only him. And so Nammarvar refuses to sing on any human. Similarly, Swami Vedanta Desika refuses to sing on any human at all. And he sends a beautiful 5 shlokas in response to his friend, saying that I will not sing upon anybody. If I have any dhanam, it is the dhanam that it is Swami Varadaraja, the Lord, Varadaraja himself, that is my dhanam. Shrinidim apadamattinam attitartha paridana dikshitam sarva bhuta sukritam dayanidim devarajam adirajamashet. If there is a nidhi, it is Devaraja. That is my only nidhi, is what he says in that pastime. However, they look into how this girl today, how she looks at nidhi. Tumani madattu chuttam vilakkariya rupam kamara tuyanavel kanvalarum. Mama Nagale, Manikalam Taltiravai, Mami Lavare Piro, Unmagaldan, Umayo, Andichevedo Anantalo, Yema Perinduyal, Mandira Patalo, Mama and Madhavan, Vaikundan and Namam Palavam Navindran, Elo and Pavai. In this pastime, Andal is waking up the next girl. What is this girl like? This is the 4th girl that Andal is waking up. This girl, what is she like? Too many Madat Chutram Velakariya. She's staying in a Mada Malige. Mada Malige refers to a palace or a flat system, is what my Swami jokingly said, because it is Madam means that which is in a raised platform. Maybe you can say that they have wonderful balconies. It is like the Biltmore estate for us to understand. She is in such a beautiful palace. I will tell the story of Jasmine before we get to this. Jasmine was the daughter of the Sultan in from Aladdin, in the story Aladdin. Jasmine is the Sultan. Is the daughter of the Sultan of the entirety of Agrabah. It is the center of the entirety of the Arabic world, and she is the princess of that world. So what does she do? She lives amongst this wealth her entirety of her life. So that is what she lives in, that palace her entire life. She does not leave that palace. Similarly, however, she wants to see the outside of the world. However, her father and her uncle, who are Jafar and the Sultan, they do not believe that there is any true wealth other than their wealth. They wanted to get married to another wealthy prince so that their wealth can increase. Of course, their kingdom can increase, and that is the goal of them. That's enough for our story for now. So what is this girl that Andal is referring to? She is in this palace, just like how Jasmine is in Sutram Velakariya. There is wonderful lamps glowing everywhere. It is well lit. If you look, one of the things that shows luxury is the type of lighting that you have in your house. A lot of people, if you just have a simple bulb light, that shows that you are not able to afford some alternative sources of lighting. Alternative sources of lighting are a very big thing in design planning, right? And so that alternative sources of lighting is what she has. She has all sorts of wonderful different types of lamps. She has candles lit everywhere, scented candles all around her as she is sleeping. She's in a balcony bedroom, and she has covered around by candles and other alternate sources of lighting that look very beautiful in her room. There's another pardon. Dubam kamar. If I accidentally say Dumam kamar, that is because Dumam and Dubam both refer to the same poge, or both refer to the same smoke. It is actually asked in a question in the Vyakyanam. In Thiruppavai, Arvar says that the Lord will take any sort of dupam. Dupam refers to smoke. Does it have to be the well-scented agarbatti? Sometimes my father lights some agarbatti. I do not like the smell of it. However, sometimes it smells good. Is the Lord thinking that, oh, this one smells good, this one doesn't smell good? Shri Parashara Bhattar says, if you go outside, gather some leaves and rocks and sticks, and you were to burn that, and the smoke that comes out of that, the Lord will accept that smoke as well. He does not expect that it has to be good smelling agarbatti. He does not expect that it has to be the type of dhupam that we consider pleasurable to us. Any sort of dhupam, the Lord will accept. In fact, He doesn't even want that. He just wants us to think about Him. If we just say His name, that's more than enough for Him. But if we want to give Him dhupam, any sort of dhupam is acceptable. Patram pushpam palam toyam yome bhaktya prayachiti is what Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. Patram pushpam palam toyam. It is said that He will accept all of these in the form of eating all of these. Patram pushpam palam toyam. You can eat tulasi leaf. You can eat toyam. You can drink water. Patram pushpam palam. You can eat a fruit. Toyam. What about pushpam? Krishna is so enamored by the fact that they are giving anything, that he's willing to eat anything. He will, if you give him that, or flower also, he's like, wow, they've given me something, and he will eat it. He does not think that, oh, this is a flower, I'm to put it on my head. Viduran is known to have very beautifully, when Krishna came to Vidura's house, Viduran sat him down, and what did Vidura do? He said, all I have is some fruits, and what did he do? Some bananas, and so he peeled the bananas and he was giving them to Krishna. After Krishna was done eating, he looked up and he was going to clean the place. He realized Krishna had eaten, he was giving Krishna the peels. He was so enamored by the beauty of Krishna that he did not realize that he was not giving Krishna the fruit. He was sitting there throwing the fruit on the ground and giving him the peels. And Krishna sat there and ate the peels. Because what matters to him? Yome bhaktya prayachati. The fact that you thought of me, the fact that you are thinking of how I am gracing you and you're having that love towards me, that's more than enough for the Lord. Yome bhaktya prayachati. That's what He expects. He just expects you to realize that He is the one that is protecting him, that is protecting you. That is all He wants. He wants that love, that connection. Don't see the Lord as somebody that is going to punish you. It's often said in Tamil, if you don't do something, Sami kandu kuttiro. Sami will come, Umacha will come and poke your eyes. He will not come and poke anybody's eyes. He's not somebody that's going to do that. He is always going to only protect us. He's not there to sit and poke our eyes. He has better things to do than that. I always say, the Lord is not petty. The Lord is not, Perumal is not petty. And so hence here, Dubam Kamar Tuyanamayal Kanvarum. So what is this girl's Dubam like? However, she is very picky with her Dubam. She has to make sure that her Dubam is filled, is like the best scent. She makes sure that it is the right scent based on the season. It has to be the right scent. So right now it is winter season. It has to be the oak, or it has to be cinnamon, or it has to be Christmas tree flavored. It has to be the right Dupam based on the season. You see, even if you go to Target, you see different scented candles based on the season. She makes sure that her candles are always based on the season. That is the type of Dupam that she expects. Mama and Magale. So she is such a rich person. What is she sleeping in? Dupam kamar tuyilanemel kanvalam. She does not realize that the Lord is actually the one that is protecting her. She is always continuously sleeping, thinking that, oh, wow, I'm in such richness. And she's continuously in that boga, that enjoyment only. She does not realize that there's a whole new world. As Jasmine sings when she finally sees the rest of the world, she does not realize that there's a whole new world out there, which is the Lord Himself. The Lord is our whole new world. There's more to life than just this Doomam and this Tumani Madathu Chutrum Belakariya Doomam Kamaya Tuilanamel Kanvarum. She's sleeping in that boga. Who is she? Mama and Magale. Her father is also very rich. That is what you see. Andal refers to him as Mama and Magale. She's referring to him as the Sultan's daughter. Andal is referring to this girl as the Sultan's daughter. Mama and Magale. The Sultan in this story of Jasmine is one that was also completely engaged in the boga only. He was also only focused on the money. Similarly, you also look at the actual mama for her, the actual uncle for her. He was also only focused on the money alone. He did not have any goal. Jafar was only focused on making himself rich. That is what it is like. If you look at rich people, they will always have a couple of people around them that are always looking into how I can get that person's riches, how I can steal those riches from them, despite being maman, despite being their relative themselves. They are focused always on how can I get this richness from them. When that is the case, when there's people ready to backstab you, you too, Caesar, is what is asked in the Greek mythology, right? So in the Roman mythology. And so even there, you see that you are backstabbed yet again. And so when that is the case, How can you be sure that you're how can you be sure that that person, that king, cannot turn into Karunai Kavanta Kalas when there's people around you, when you have so much money, people are ready to backstab you. How can you be sure that you're going to keep that money? That is what is said here. Mama and Magale. You are also there. Your father is also focused on money. Your doors are filled as if they are the large doors. They are filled with different bells. They are beautifully decorated. These doors. Come on, open the door. Don't be sitting there and thinking only about the richness. Mama and Mommy, also you also go try to wake her up. Let her realize that there is more to the world than the Lord. It is not as if we have so much money. Does she not hear the name? What is she not hearing? Is she not able to speak? Is she not able to hear? Was she put on a curse that she should be sleeping? You see that Jafar put other people on a curse, but she did not put her on a curse. So she will also be able to come and wake up. Her father was put on a curse. Her father was put on a curse by Jafar to only listen to what he said. That is what money will also do. Money will put us in a curse that, oh no, I have to continuously go after the same thing again and again. She says multiple different names of the Lord here. So what is your girl not hearing? Madhavan is the name that Andal says here. Madhavan, what does Madhavan refer to? He who is Shriyappadi, he who is married to Shri or Thiru. Lakshmipadi. Lakshmi refers to the wealth. If there's any wealth in this world, Lakshmano, Lakshmi Sampannaha. Lakshmana is known to have been very rich. That is what the word Lakshmana means. He who has the Lakshmi always with him. What is the Lakshmi that he had? He went to the forest. This girl, she's able to sleep so well. She truly has Lakshmi. She truly has Lakshmi. She has a lot of wealth. She's sleeping so well. Lakshmana was not even able to sleep for 14 years. He did not sleep for 14 years. He spent all his time as a servant of the Lord. Is that really Lakshmi? The true Lakshmi is that Kainkaryam, that realization that the Lord is the one that is doing everything for us. The true fact that He is the one that is our everything, and we are just there for Him. We are there and is as the tongs in His hands. And so that is what Arvar is also saying here. That's what Andal is saying here. Are you not hearing? Are you under the curse that you're not able to hear that? What does Madhavan also refer to? He is the one that is giving any wealth. You see the story of Kushela or Sudama. Sudama was so poor. And then what had happened to him? He went to Krishna, and then Krishna made him so rich. You see so many stories similarly of people that do not have so much richness, and then within seconds, it is gone. You see, suddenly there's a stock market drop, and then boom, everything is gone. All the money that you had saved up for, it is all gone. We saw the recession, we saw the Great Depression. What happened? All those people that had money, it was all gone. Similar, that's what the Madhavan can do. It is by his will that you have that money. If there is any money that you have, it is by his will. So do not think that you are the one that earned this. A lot of people go to the temple. They do Archana. In the name of Archana, what do? The Archana Swami, the person that is going to do that Archana, he will do the Sankalpa saying, I'm going to say Ashtotra Sata Divya Nama Archanam Kaishya, or Ashtotra Sahasra Sankar Divya Namam Kaishya, and he will say that I'm going to chant 1,000 names, I'm going to chant 100 names. He will go inside and say Keshava Narayana Madhava Govinda Vishnu Vasudha Mavana Shila Shriya Patna Damodar, and then call it a quits. He will only say 10 names and start that. But before that, you should see these groups of families, they go and they will say every single last family member of that will be more than the 12 names. In fact, if you go and you're trying to listen to the Archana, the point of the Archana is to listen to the Namas of the Lord. You go and try to listen to the Namas of the Lord. You will end up hearing all the names of that family. You will hear the entirety of that family as opposed to the Namas of the Lord. Does he not know our names? Do we actually have to tell him our names? Does he not see us? He's always looking at us. He's always looking at us and always protecting us. Only if we say our name is he going to protect us? Truly, what is the purpose of Archana? To hear these names. Mamayan, Madhavan, Vaikundan, Yendan. If you hear these names, you get that peace of mind. The point of the Archana is to hear the names of the Lord. When you hear these names of Mamayan, Madhavan, Vaikundan, you will realize that Vaikundan, he is without any flaws. Why is he without any flaws? He's going to make sure that whatever needs to be done will be done. He will make sure that if we are to get wealth, we will get wealth. If we don't need wealth, he will ensure to protect us from that. Whatever is good, the right amount of whatever we need, he will ensure we will get. That's what Vaikundam means. Vaikundam means he is flawless. Madhavan, he is Lakshmi Pati, he is the one that is married to Lakshmi. So don't worry. If there is any wealth to give, you don't have to go ask. He will give it himself. Don't worry. He does not need that you to go give him some flowers for him to give you something back in return. He will give it. Don't worry. Mamayan, Madhavan. Mamayan, don't think that I am so destitute, or don't think I am so rich that I am stuck in this position. I am so rich, I will stay rich. Mamayan, he can do anything in a single second. He has Akatekara Gatana Samartyam. He can remove something in a single instant. He can give something so much in a single instance. That's what he did with Sudama. That's what he's also doing with Vurnayagamai, and Andal. He also doing with that king. And so that's what you see here. These three namas. By understanding these three namas, we realize that he is the one that is giving everything. That is what Andal is saying. Don't think that this is an enjoyment for you. Realize that he is the one that has given everything that you have right now. And so Andal finishes up this pasuram with that. Before we finish, however, in the Vyakhyana, this commentary by Ariganala Perumal Nayanar, Nanjigar say the Vyakyagal, Naliranduku, Enjame Yavikum Mille, Tamsiral, Vayagurvin Tammi, Mandavanavala Muni, Sayimave Tamum Sila. The Acharyas of our Guru Parampara have composed so many different commentaries, of which today is the Janma Nakshatram, or the birthday of Swami Arigamanvala Perumal Nayanar, who composed the 6,000 Padi Vyakyanam, the 6,000 verse commentary for Thiruppavai. A lot of the meanings I'm saying for these past 10 days are from his commentary as well. And so we are all greatly indebted to him for writing us these commentaries. Furthermore, there's a beautiful saying that he says here with this Mamayan, Madhavan, Vaikundan. I mentioned Palliyal Odiya Tansiravan, Vayilod Ayaranamam. The boy came back from school and he said 1,000 names. Who's that boy? It is Prahladan. Prahladan came back from school and he said 1,000 names. He did not say 1,000 names. He said the same name again and again like a broken record. Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. So why is he called Palliyal Odiya Tansiravan, Vayilod Ayaranamam? Why is it 1,000 names? Because even if you say one name, the Lord will take it as 1,000 names. You do not have to sit there and do the Sahasranama Archana or that Ashtotra Sahasranama Archana. If you just think Mamayan, that itself is 1,000 names. Madhavan, that is also 1,000 names. Vaikundan, that is also 1,000 names. It is equivalent, each and every single one of them is equivalent to a Sahasranama, because he does not expect anything from us. It is for our own peace of mind that we say these names. By saying these names, we realize that he is the one that is doing everything. And so that is what he also hopes from us. It is for our own sake that he says that. This is a beautiful meaning that is given by I Jananyacharya Swami, Mamayan, Madhavan, Vaikundan, and Namam, Palavam, all these names. Navinjit, say these names and come outside. Join us. Join us, Jasmine, is what Andal says in this pasuram. With this, we will say, I wanted to finally say the Swami Arigamanvala Perumal Nayar's Taniyan, and then afterwards we'll say this pasuram. The Ravadam Naya Hridayam Guru Parva Kramagatam Ramyajamatra Devena Darshitam Krishna Sununa. It is thanks to these acharyas that we're able to do anything at all. So I thought that will be a good note to end on. Arigamanvala Perumal Nayar Tiruvadigalai Shanam. Tomorrow's girl is Elsa.
So in this pasuram, this girl is sleeping. Why is she sleeping? Because she is so confident that Krishna will take care of everything. So in the final instruction of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, I am there, do not be afraid. In fact, it is very difficult actually, to have that 100% faith in the Supreme Lord and have absolutely zero fear. It is easily said, but it is very, very difficult to practice. But this girl is an expert. She is so confident that Krishna will come and protect her. She does not have to be afraid of anything. And peacefully she is sleeping. She's saying Mama and Mahale. Right? If we have a relative who is very, very strong, who is very, very protective of us, right? We don't have to feel any worries. We will automatically know he will protect. Just like the baby inside the womb, right? It doesn't care about anything. It is there happily. It knows 100% confident that the mother will take care of this thing. Similarly, Krishna is our mother. The Narayana Nama, one of the meanings of Narayana Nama is he is like our mother, he is sustaining all of us in his womb. We do not have to worry about anything. All we have to do is just remember that he is his mother. So Mama and Mahade, she says. Similarly, Krishna, uncle's daughter, she is the uncle's daughter of Krishna. So here normally people say that we have to renounce everything. Like our Swami said, that everything, all wealth, everything has to be renounced. But our acharyas have beautifully said that if this wealth is used for kaikarya, for service of the Supreme Lord, then that wealth is welcome. But on the other hand, if you are using anything for our own thing, like going to Perumal and for our own happiness, if you are praying, that is to be set aside. So similarly, when I said that Bhagavad Ramanujacharya is Yativara, he is Yatishvara, he is the supreme, he has renounced, he is the supreme amongst all renunciants. But he had a wonderful sister. In fact, he cherished his sister. It is none other but our Andal. He is called Godagraja. Thiruppavai Pasuram Pinanal Variye, we say. He says he is the elder brother of Andal. He had a wonderful son called Thiruppavai Pasuram. Then he had a wonderful nephew called Mudalai Andal. He had another cousin brother called Embar. And all of us are coming in the Sishya Parampara of another Acharya by name Koyil Commander Ilaivalli. Or see, he is also happens to be one of the cousin brothers of Bhagavad Ramanujacharya. So you are calling him as a Yati. But why is that he is celebrating the relationship with all the family members? So Acharyas clearly say that any relationship that is conducive for our bhakti towards Perumal and Andal and our Radhika and Krishna, that relationship has to be cherished. But anything otherwise, even if they happen to be our blood relatives, but for some reason, if they are not very conducive towards bhakti, we have to renounce them. So that wealth, we are praying to Andal. She is saying, Engum Thiruvural Petre. In the final song, she is saying, Engum Thiruvural Petre. May there be wealth everywhere. But what wealth is she referring to? Both Kaingaryasri, that is the wealth that is needed for doing services, and the Sri Vaishnavasri, the knowledge, the wealth of knowledge, to say that all this wealth is for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord and not for my own happiness. So that both she is praying and she is securing it. Then how is Andal waking up this girl? She is saying Dhvani. So yes, you are very confident that Krishna will take care of everything and you are sleeping. But we are all going together. Bhagavata Samvatsam. We are all going together and we are going and praying Krishna. So Satsangam, again she is saying, no, you are having the wealth of Krishna to yourself, but the Satsangam or coming together and glorifying Krishna is even more precious, even more wealthier. So you please come. And this girl also knows about it because in the previous night, they've all discussed everything. She knows very well. But still she is sleeping. And here Andal is remaining what is called as Dhvani. Perumal is going to give us everything. That is absolutely, we don't have to be worried about it. But still, we have to be very anxious. When will that day come? When will that day come where we can go and serve him? When we can go and do some personal services to him, that Dhvani will come. Like somebody, if you take little children, they know very well that we are going to take them to Disney World. But still they will ask, okay, one day is there, no, tomorrow I have to go there. Then once they get into the plane, they will say, have we reached there? Okay, after I go there, what and all I'm going to see, which princesses I'm going to meet, when will I meet Elsa? Like that, they will keep asking again and again and again. Similarly, Andal is saying, should you not have that Dhvani? We are all going to go and have the darshan of Krishna. We are going to ask for something really, really very precious from him. You know about it. So you have to join. In this way, she is motivating this Gopika to come, join, and move it along. So as Swami said, very beautifully, this Pasuram, every song of Goda Devi is a gem actually. And today's gem is this Pasuram, Nayagana. Too many Mama and Mahade, she says. Right? That relationship is to be cherished. Okay.
Any questions as well?